an expert in business development and sales in the Palestinian market. Some of you already know him. For those of you who don't, today's going to be a very, very interesting session. Mr. Musleh is a graduate of BYU, Management Information Systems. He's a part of their tech society. He has extensive experience in consulting for companies, local and regional, international companies in the ICT sector. He started his own business back in 2000, Jadan.com, which was something similar to Yelp, and has gained a lot of steam, and has become, a lot of people are calling it the Yelp of the Middle East. In addition to that, for the past 2 years, he's been heading the business development for PITA, the Palestinian Information and Technologies Association, dealing with the policies of the government as well as the private sector needs. So, without any further ado, I'm going to hand over the session to Mr. Mo Musleh.
Thank you. You have one. So, I need to tell you something very important. It's a secret, actually. I am not a teacher, and I've never taught anything in my life. So you're my guinea pigs. I'm testing stuff on you right now. But what I can tell you that I can give you is the real life experience of somebody who's done entrepreneurship before entrepreneurship was a word in the Middle East. In the year 2000, the internet was still young. We had around 7 to 10 million internet users in the Arab world. 20% of those people, 20% of the entire traffic of the web in the Middle East used to go through my website. One server, and it's an Oyster, which is a very, very interesting name. Did any of you guys read the handout that I emailed you? That's everything you need to know about sales. I'm not kidding. This handout that I prepared for you came from 3 or 4 sources, books that I've read on sales. The concepts in it are great. Time management, training, whatever, all these things are very, very important. And it's very important for you as somebody who has not done sales or biz dev on the ground. It's very important to understand the concepts in it. But what I'm going to give you is, what I'm trying to give you today in this session is beyond this. Beyond do this and do that. But I think it's still important to go through it. So I prepared, usually you guys did about an hour of theoretical work, and then you do half an hour of practical. I'm going to shift it. I'm going to try to do 25 to 35 minutes of me lecturing you, telling you what you've read already. If you've read it, you probably can teach this stuff to me. And I'm going to try to also make it interesting. I'm going to tell you several, like a 5-minute story about something that happened to me and with sales. So let's move on to the presentation, which is right here. And I'm going to give you, the presentation has 11 slides in it. I'm going to give you a bunch of interesting statistics about sales and who's doing sales in the world. I'm going to tell you more about the characteristics, the nature of people who are the top 4% of people doing sales in the world. Something that Omar taught you last Sunday was marketing. Marketing is key for sales. And if you have a strong brand and a strong, it's much easier for you to go buy a Lenovo laptop than a laptop called Musleh. Who the hell is Musleh? We know Lenovo or IBM makes laptops, so it's easier to go. So that's where marketing comes in. I'm going to tell you stuff from the paper about the basic skills that I believe are very important for you to close a sale and to become a supernatural salesperson. I'm going to also tell you stuff that people think about their companies that are not true. This doesn't make sense. There are in any community there are 100% of it. I call them 80% of the people. They're in shock. Those 80% of the people, salespeople, they only close 20% of sales. Imagine this much This is the regular people, this is elite salespeople, and this is the supernaturals. That's why if you want to be in sales, you're going to try to be here. The elite salespeople do all right. They do their fair share of the game. But the supernaturals, they do 64% of the sales. And that translates into you having a better life and buying a bigger good and a bigger house and a bigger car and marrying 4 women. You don't deal with one, it's more than enough. So if you're able to be here, your companies will appreciate you. You will be able to have you'll be able to do more. For example, if you want to help with, if you're passionate about something like Gaza, for example, if you're here, you're making the majority of the money, and you can advance your personal life and things that you're passionate about. Does this make sense? I mean, when I first looked at it, it didn't make sense to me. The regular people make 20% of the sales. Good people who are 16% make 16% of the sales, and 4% of the sales make 64% of the sales. And that translates into commissions. And by the way, it's not very difficult to be here. You just need to do things right, and you need to learn from your mistakes. And you need to be very persistent. How can you be part of the supernaturals? Is that difficult? I mean, what's the trick? Is it something that you learn? I have to be very honest with you. There are some people who are natural salespeople. They're born and they know how to sell. يعني بيقول لك في هذا البيع ما يبحث السلعة. There are people who can just do it, and they don't have to learn it, but you can actually learn it, and it's very simple. You have to establish presence. When you sit with a client, when you're trying to, for example, you set up a meeting, you have to be serious. You have to understand the person in front of you, do your research, understand what they need to do, what they want, and have presence. Show them that you know your stuff. You're not some rookie who's trying to close a sale and run. You have to be stable. When I say stable, I don't mean emotionally stable. While it is very important, I mean you have to be thinking. You have to do things in a process, in a dedicated way. You have to be patient, persistent, thoughtful. What does that mean? It means that if that person in Jawad that I want to sell him something is not responding, I email him again. And he doesn't respond, I email him again. I know what's his name, I go find his network. I find somebody in my network that knows him. It's about being persistent, thoughtful. You have to find smart ways to approach people, because 50% of it is actually getting into the door. Because imagine, I mean, you guys are your recent graduates. I'm sure so many people are trying to sell you so many things. So how do I convince the CEO of a multinational company that I have a product that's going to change their life and makes their life and makes their company better? So that persistence, that sense that I need to do more, I need to follow up more, is very important. And strong presence. It doesn't. When you get that meeting, you sit there, you show them that you know your stuff, you show them that you can add value to their operation. And I want to say something that is very important about supernaturals. Anybody can be a supernatural. You can be 50 years old, you can be 20 years old. It's when you are CEO of a company and you realize this person is a supernatural, make sure that you keep them. At the end of the day, this course, you all may be CEOs of companies, and when you find the supernatural, the 4% of people, make sure to keep them and make sure that you have the culture within the company that can retain their services. Does anybody have any questions until now? I want this to be as interactive as possible. You can interrupt me whenever you want.
How do you keep the 4% when they know they're so up there that they may ask for a huge commission, or they'll, how do you keep them happy?
The trick for the supernatural is never to pay them a basic salary, a big basic salary. The minute
Give them shares?
give them percentages, commissions. There's something called step percentages. So if for example, your goal for that person is to sell $5 million, tell them if you get your target of $5 million, you get 5%. The minute you get $1 million over, that turns into 8%. The minute that becomes more, you get 50%. At the end of the day, whenever you're selling, whenever one person is selling that much for you, you can afford to give them more commissions. Because that's one salary, that's one, the cost in your company should be very, very effective in that way, that when a person perform, you have to reward them, and that's the way. There's a big problem in our culture here. I'm not going to tell you the names, but one of my clients, I've been selling for him for 3 years. Outsourcing, software outsourcing, something like Exalt does. And I went to university in the US. I lived there and worked there for quite a bit. So I have an extensive network in the US. And I'm able to bring them channel business to them. And I went to this company, asked for their rate card. They gave me a rate card. I told them I don't want you to pay me anything. The only thing I want is you give me the rate card and I add whatever commission I can sell to the client in the US. I ended up charging the client about 60% more. Typically it's 10%, 5 to 10% usually, but I'm doing 60%. When the company knew that I was selling 60% over, they went crazy. They went overboard. Was that smart? I mean, if you're a CEO and your company is growing from one salesperson, do you care how much money he or she is making? Do you think you should care? The mentality in Palestine, unfortunately, we do not have a win-win situation. It's very difficult for us to appreciate that this person went and lived in the US and invested a lot of money in their education and made this network, and now he's helping me sell without a basic cost.
But are you affecting the value of their product? Because that way you took their product and you almost doubled it up in the price.
And I know, just let you know, and there are some people making commission. The average cost for a fresh graduate developer in the US is $100,000. That's not the package they get, it's the overall cost. With their taxes, with their power, with everything. When you come to a US company and tell them I'm going to give you a dedicated fresh graduate for $50K, they're happy. So what I'm trying to say here is you are part of the change. When you find supernatural or elite salespeople, reward them, because that way you guarantee that your company, you're able to sell more and more. This slide, I'm not sure how important it is right now, but I think Omar went over it extensively last Sunday. But as I said, if people know your brand, if people have good thoughts about the products that you have, they're more likely to buy from you. I mean, the internet, social media, mailing, writing, all these things are things that I'm sure you guys understand, and you have to make sure your company is doing these things. I'm gonna give you an example. You're all very bad news. Do you understand how easy to sell for Ma'an News? The easiest sell I've ever done. Wherever I go, I tell them, we're going to put a banner for you on Ma'an News. They agree immediately. And it's outrageously expensive. There are so many, I mean, you probably can invest the same money in Facebook and get so much more. But the perception today in Palestine is that Ma'an News is the leader in online presence, and everybody wants their banner on Ma'an News. You go to X or Y websites, I can say names, but I don't offend anybody, and they're charging, Ma'an is charging Jawad 100K, they're charging Jawad $1,000. So this perception, this branding element of things is very important, I mean. And I want to also touch on something that I said before about personal contacts. I would not have been able to sell in the US if I did not have the personal contact. Those are people who are in my class, people who I went out with, people who I partied with, people who I studied with. I have a personal, intimate relationship with them. And why would you ever send business to Palestine? The only thing people hear about, especially Americans, is that we have a war zone. They don't want to be part of it. Because they trust me, because they know who I am, the personal element, they're like, okay, let's try with 3 resources. It worked, they add more and more. If there is something important in sales, it's this, the personal Rolodex, personal contact. Make sure you grow them. And there are ways to do it. I know which one. Public relations also is very important. It's a branding element of things. What does it take? The skills. Personal relations. So, who asked me about Jawad? Somebody asked me about Jawad earlier. Like, حتى منكم سألني إنه كيف تدبر الجوال. Okay. In Palestine, this is very easy because we're such a small community. There is somebody here in the room that knows Ammar like it. There is somebody here that knows the chief salesperson. It's about you approaching people, building a relationship with them, understanding what their networks are, and tapping into it. The problem is that Palestine is a very small market, so if you're trying to start your company, I would advise you to always think about Palestine as a launching pad to go outside. Regional is minimal because there are 140 million Arabs using the internet today, so that's a significant market, but that's less than 1% of the users or 2% of the users on Earth. So why not try and service a larger, Research your client. If you go to Jawad, if you have a meeting with chief marketing officer and you're trying to sell them something specific, you need to understand what his pain is. Why is he meeting with you? What is he expecting? Don't always put yourselves in their shoes. And the more you know about them, the more you understand their pain, the more likely they're going to come to you and try and work with you. Follow up squared. It's part of your personality. You're being effective. You need to always follow up. You follow up by email, you follow up by phone calls, you follow up. You find where they shop and you bump into them accidentally. Of course, there's a balance and you don't want to be crazy. I can tell you a story about, there's a company called Huawei. And Huawei is basically a company that sells infrastructure equipment for internet providers and for wireless providers like Jawad, like India, that sort of thing. They put a friend of mine who was the chief technical officer of Zain, they put him in a meeting for 6 hours. And it was obvious that he's not going to buy from them. While my friend is driving, they stopped him at the stoplight. And he's like, Huawei does Google. Khalas, I left, it's a lost case. No one loses the battle. Because you don't want somebody to khalas hate you, you don't want to associate with you. So it's follow up, you need to be smart about it. If you follow up, if you understand the pain, the client's pain, that you will make the sale. I want to touch on effectiveness. It applies to sales and it applies to many other things. When you walk into your office every day, there are things that you need to do that are not fun. They're not fun at all. I would rather be on a conference call with somebody. I would rather. There are so many things that you can do, but there are the frogs, the big important things. You can always think about. You know that you have to write that proposal, and you know if you know the deadline is next week. But if you eat that frog that is sitting on your shoulder, you will be more effective. You won't think about it. Khalas, it's gone, and it gives you more energy. Because khalas, this disgusting thing that's sitting next to you, you ate it and it's over. And I always say the list. The list means a list of the 6 biggest frogs you can think about. Every morning when you walk into the office, put a list of the most important things you need to do. Put them on a list and do them. Just finish them. 2 hours, 3 hours. Don't get the coffee. Don't drink tea. Be an effective person. I want to show you a video. Are you familiar with Stephen Covey? Professor Stephen Covey? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Yeah. Stephen Covey is a professor at my university, at Brigham Young. And he wrote a book. The book is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he shows you how getting rid of the big things makes your life easier. I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to have to Google it. So Do you understand what I mean with big frogs? Do you understand that metaphor? في حدا مش فاهم ايش قصدي؟
شغلات تتراكم بتضلك حامل همها وانت
ايش اسمك؟
سمر.
بليز فسري لنا ايش الضفدع.
لا إنه مثلا يكون في عندك شغلات تفكر فيها أكثر، يعني مو أشياء مهمة لازم تعملها، بتضلك تفكر إنه بدي أنجزها، بتضلك حاسس إنه لا هاي يعني كل ما تفكر في شيء ثاني بتصير تفكر إنه لا بدي هاي أنجزها. إنه هي الأشياء اللي بتضلها حاسس إنه لازم تخلص.
وليش انا سميتها ضفدعه؟ ليش شيء؟
لانه في كتاب طلعت في كتاب
نعم؟
في كتاب يعني أسوأ شيء بتعمل بحياتك تاكل ضفدع بعد ما تاكله اي شيء سيء
لازم فرنساوي
عادي.
تاكل ضفدعه.
طب الإجباري.
فالميتافور انك تاكل ضفدعه يعني انه هذا الشيء اللي انت اكثر شيء كمان اعمله اول شيء. هاي هذا الشورت موفي بفرجيك كيف انك تعمل الاشياء الكبيره اول. هذا من الكتاب تبع ستيفن كوفي.
By starting with doing trivial activities, you will not have the time for the things that actually matter. Whether you are a businessman, getting distracted by little things in life is easy.
الحكي كثير مهم.
Trivial activities, you will not
بس
have
شوفوا ايش
the
بتعمل.
things that actually matter. Whether you are a businessman, mother of four, or a professional, anyone can lose focus of the things that are important in life and feel precious time on meaningless things. In the 80s, Stephen Covey taught the importance of prioritizing the important things in life, which will enable you to do more than you ever thought was possible. These concepts still apply to life today. Even if you think you know all of this already, the visualization metaphor really hits home. This demonstration from the 7 habits of highly effective people will change how you prioritize. If you lack focus and want to do more important things in your day, you have to check out this life-changing book.
هذه الاشياء اللي مش مهمه بحياتنا، هاي الاشياء النص نص، هاي الاشياء المهمه. هلا انا اول شيء بدي اعمله بدي اخلص الاشياء اللي فن اللي بحب اعملها. دي سهله، هي بتطلع كيف صغيره وقطايط وحلوين ما فيها مشاكل. هاي يعني اشياء مهمه هي عم بخلصها وماشي الامور بالشغل، ما حدا بتصل فيه وبيروحني. هاي البروبوزل اتصالات، هاي الار ان دي بروجكت تبعي، هاي فاست فورورد البادجت تبعتها مع ناس مساوي 9 موظفين معهم عشان تتحقق عشان
بلش محل.
هلا خلينا نعمل الاشياء المهمه اول. الاشياء الكبيره اللي هي عن جد مهمه لحياتنا، مهمه لشغلنا، اللي بنعملها كل يوم الصبح. اهم 6 اشياء ناكل هالضفدعه ونخلص منها. لاحظوا كيف كل هالاشياء هاي الكبيره خلصنا منها كلياتها وسعت بيومنا. هذا الجار بيمثل اليوم تبع الوقت اللي عندنا اياه. خلصنا منهم، التواضع راحوا وانا الكوميشن تبعتي عم تيجي وكل شيء تمام. الاشياء الثانيه وسعت بسهوله. بدنا نروح اليوم على مطعم، بدنا نروح نتغدى، بدنا نروح اجازه على البحر الميت، بدنا نعرف مش عارف ايش. هي كله بنفس الوعاء بنفس المساحات كلياتها وسعت. ما بعرف اذا هاد يعني انا اول مره شفت هذا الشيء كان سنه 97 98 وكثير كان شيء مهم بالنسبه لي كيف كل حياتي اتعامل مع وقتي. ما كنت علامات منيح بالجامعه، فجاه صاروا كثير احسن. كل شيء بدي بفكر فيه هاي، اخلص من الاشياء اللي بالبدايه امورك كلها تمشي. شو رايكم بهذا الفيديو؟ مين بحب يحكي لي ايش تعلم من هذا الفيديو؟
السوليوشن ديزاين دوكيومنت سلمها بكره.
Excuse me?
سوليوشن زي دوكيومنت لازم اسلمها.
لا جد يعني من جد.
تفضل.
يعني انا جد هذا الاشي حتى لما الواحد يكون مثلا يعمل اشياء الفن ولسه عليه شغلات اللي انت حكيت عنها الفاز بتضلك حتى وانت بتنبسط انت مش مبسوط.
انت قاعده على البركه وضفدع قاعده على
يعني
على
بتضلك
شغل
حاسس حالك مش مبسوط حتى وانت بتعمل اشياء مبسوطه، فدائما الواحد يخلص الاشياء عليه بعدين.
انت
ممكن إذا بلش بالشغلات اللي مش مهمة يومه أو وقت شغله ما يتسعش للشغلات وقت يجي يشتغل على الشغلات المهمة، فلازم يعمل أولوية لشيء مهم. لشغلات صغيرة لو ما كملهاش مش حتأثر كثير على المستقبل.
صح. واذا بتخلص الاشياء المهمه الاشياء الصغيره دائما بتكون الاول. تفضلي.
الواحد اصلا لما ما يعمل هاي الاشياء الكبيره ما بيحس حاله انجز ولا هيك شيء. انا بحكي عن حالي.
بدي اقول لك شيء
بسوي كثير يعني اذا ما بعمل الاشياء الكبيره انا ما انجزت.
كلياتنا بالاخر بني ادميه. انا لما يكون عندي شيء بالشغل كبير ومش عامله، لما اروح على البيت بكون قاعد بفكر فيه. لما يعني بضلوا قاعد على بالك بنكد عليك.
صح هذا اللي
وبيخفف من الانرجي تبعتك، بطل عندك انرجي بهذا. اخلص منه وامشي بحياتك.
بس يعني مرات الواحد ما بتحكمش يعني شو اللي بصير. لازم يصير كله يرفض يعني وقف الناس، لانه مرات بصير حدا شغله مش اولويه اكثر منها بصير يضغط عليه عشان تخلص منها.
احنا بشكل عام
هاي المشكله.
احنا بشكل عام كبني ادمين بنحب الشيء السهل نعمله باسرع. انت هذا بس اذا بدك تكون سوبر ناتشرال، بدك تكون شخص ما بيحتاج حدا يكون بوس عليك، بدك تكون انت عن جد البوس تبع حالك، لانه اخر النهار اذا عملت الاشياء الصعبه انت بتاخذ 64%، انت بتاخذ 64% من السيلز، وهذا الشيء انت كسيلز بيرسون بدك اياه. هذه كثير مهمه للسي اوز والسيلز بيبل، الناس اللي بيشتغلوا بدون سوبرفيجن. اذا انت بتعمل شغلك تاخذ ريوردز. بشكل عام في عندك بوس بحط لك اولويات، بس لازم انت تحاول انك تقول للبوس لا يا عمي هذه الاشياء اهم، هاي الاشياء. هدول النقاط اكثر لهم ريليفنس بالستارت ابس. تخيل حالك انت سيلز بيرسون بشركه جبت ديل ب $3000 وانت او بلاش ب $10,000 وانت التارجت تبعك $1,000,000، كم ديل زي هاي لازم تعمل عشان توصل التارجت تبعك؟ بدك تعمل 100. عن جد انت بتفكر انك حتقدر تعمل 100 ديل عشان توصل للتارجت تبعك؟ برايورتايز، اعرف كيف تلاقي الديل اللي ب 100,000 عشان تعمل 10 زيها وتقدر عن جد تسكر التارجت تبعك. هاي كثير مهمة، دائما فكر لما تحط وقتك كيف انا يعني لازم اذا قريت اللي وراء هاي كثير في بيحكي لك think strategically. فكر بشكل استراتيجي كيف توصل للاهداف تبعتك. إذا فكرت بشكل استراتيجي you would find a way to do them. هذا فايدة. Deal size. If I need to make $1 million, I think the deal should at least be $50,000 or $100,000. Find a mechanism to capture the smaller deals. Automate it. Think about AdWords. AdWords in Google advertising. You can spend up to as little as $10, but there's no human interaction or very little human interaction. If you want to capture the lower deal sizes, automate it. Think a way to minimize your cost. Think big and act big. So ما بعرف إذا هاي كانت مهمة لكم، بس deal sizes are very important. بدي أرجع شوي للskills. How do you build a relationship with a client? Somebody that you don't know, somebody you've never met. You start, يعني at the end of the day we're all humans. Write an email note. After the meeting, call them. Try and find common people between you. The human element is very important for sales. If somebody trusts you, they will buy from you. Trust plays, يعني تخيل انت عم تشتغل مثلا بشركه زي جاب او and someone is coming to you and they want to sell you, a product, a software product for $20 million, and he's promising you that you're gonna make 100. If there's no personal touch and personal trust, it will never happen. It will never happen. And be honest. You will eventually be caught. If you lie, you will be caught. Hadi, the slide, it's a myth. تيجي على ستارت اب معين, they'll always tell you, why should I invest in that? And why should I buy from you? Because I'm the only person doing this. You are not the only person doing this. This world has 6 billion people, and there are a lot of smart people who are doing the same thing you are doing. The reason you should buy from me is because I do it better. The reason you should buy from me is because I'm smarter, I'm going to help you, and you trust me. These things are important. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna stop the lecturing. I think we have. I'd rather use the time for the practical. Additional.
6:27.
So we have an hour.
We have about an hour for
Okay.
the activity.
So مين في عندنا 5 جروبس احنا مظبوط ولا 4 جروبس؟
We have 5 groups of 4 individuals each.
Okay. Does every group has a laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you guys to split into your groups, and I want you to do an exercise. Something that would actually add to your skills beyond me lecturing you. I want you guys to learn how to do a simple 5 to 10 slide presentation that you would give it to your client. Can you please split into groups right now?
All right, just one thing before you start going into groups. Nobody slide their chairs on the floor. If you have to move a chair, it's very easy. Let me show you. You pick up the chair like this, and you twist it, and you put it down.
See, interesting news and compare it. The best 10 hotels in the world, the nicest whatever, the best whatever. And in their first month of activity, they were able to get 3 million page views. It's going viral. 90% of their traffic comes from the internet, and they have traffic from all over the Arab world and Arab.
And their mobile app is one of the top in the market.
Don't have a mobile app yet.
I think they do Android.
Trust me.
Something like them?
I helped them, so I know. So basically, a very high growth Arabic portal that gets interesting news, presented in a way, and it's going viral, no focus. WebTab is the Arab world's largest medical depot. They've been in business for 3 years. They have an app, it's a great app. And they have over 30 million page views per month across the Arab world. Growing 30% the traffic grows 30% every month for the past year and a half. They offer medical information. Basically, for example, they have several, guys, please focus with me because this is the only time you're going to get information about this, and you're going to have to write a presentation about it. So focus. So it's very similar to what we're called WebMD. So for example, if you think you have diabetes, you can research diabetes. If you're pregnant, they tell you what to do from before you get pregnant until the baby is 24 months. So they're a pretty comprehensive web portal about medical information. Souq.com is Amazon of the Middle East, i.e. they are an e-commerce website where people can buy everything they want. The majority of their products are electronics because of the nature of our economy in the Middle East. So in a nutshell, that's the 3 portals you have chosen. What I need, it would have been a lot better if you had 10 minutes to research it on your own, but unfortunately we don't have the luxury of that right now. So what I want you to do is basically do a presentation, 5 to 10 slides, but I will keep it shorter, 7 slides. think, for example, if you're web, think of me as somebody from Pfizer or from Abbott or from the big or from Johnson & Johnson or from Pampers or from those companies that would be interested in advertising me and convince me why to advertise with you. If you're with Souk, think of me as maybe Samsung, and you want me to, and you want to convince me to use Souk to promote Samsung or Nokia or whatever you want. It's you guys using your brains to convince me to buy from you. So you have 20 minutes to do that. Start working right now, kids. If you have questions, I'm right here. Well, I wanted to see. It didn't work out. You need the mouse?
Because in the end we are.
You have to make her lose focus.
So hi guys, the idea is about Webtoon.
Just 1 second.
احنا وصلنا
As an investment, as a line of which group were you?
B.
I mentored this one.
Group B,
I
Webtoon.
mentored this one.
The idea is about Webtoon as we heard.
بس انا شلون شيء هلا انت مش عمالك تعمل برزنتيشن هذول الناس انت تفكر حالك think of yourself in a meeting in a boardroom convincing who you need to tell me who ايش اسمه احنا بدنا نشتري منهم
Johnson & Johnson.
We're Johnson & Johnson. So there are 3 executives from Johnson & Johnson, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Imran, Mr. Musbah. Each one of us control $100,000. Based on your presentation, we're gonna give you that much money depending on how good your presentation is.
You know what? Small, we are trying to do it in another way.
Okay?
We would make a sketch here, a small sketch.
Small sketch.
Yeah, me, Laura from Johnson & Johnson, and Ian from Webtoon.
Okay.
So
So this is different. But okay.
That's fine. We can evaluate them on how effective we think the decision is.
Absolutely.
All right.
okay.
I think they get 10K for creativity. Anyways. Your team C? Team B. Team B.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Ian. Hi. How are you?
How are you? It's a long time.
Yes, long time no see. How are you?
Where are you now?
At Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, you work there?
Yes, since 5 years.
Oh, I see. I work at Webtoon. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's a website that offers medical articles and medical consultations.
That's good. It's nice to hear this from you.
I wanted to give you an idea. I was wondering if you guys would be interested in putting an ad at our website.
You know what, Hanin? I'm so busy right
It's really a cool
now.
app. We have almost about 2.5 million likes and faces.
Sorry, Hanin, but I'm in a rush to the hurry. You know, I've got 5 kids. I should go there.
Okay, can we arrange for an appointment?
You know, I'm so busy right now. I want to go for the
We
kids.
have 3.2 million monthly visits on our.
I think my kid is so ill and he got fever. I don't know what to do with him, so I should go right now. Maybe we can talk later.
He's so ill. You can Google. You can search for the symptoms on our app if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You won't have to go to the doctor anymore.
Oh. Listen to me about it. But I think, you know, I should go right now for the doctor. I should go right now for it.
Okay, can I have an appointment? Does Monday sound good?
No, I'm so busy. I
12 a.m.? Tuesday?
Okay, Tuesday.
5 p.m.?
Okay, 5 p.m.
Okay, yes.
So,
I'll be there.
okay, see you. See you. Okay, bye. Bye.
Okay.
You know what? I think there's something about Webtoon. Yeah.
Okay. It's not really acting, by the way, by some
I know.
people.
I know.
I mean, anyway.
So this was it.
Good job. I'll take it.
These were the real guys.
اشوف بس عشان هي برضه معاكم اياها او يو اس بي او شيء
بالظبط. Group E. Group E, are you ready?
Yeah.
Group E. E as echo.
Yes. Good.
Do we not have letters?
USB.
No.
Oh, it's not going to work.
طيب امسكنا نفتح اللابتوب خلاص.
انت ما بدك ولا بدك؟
لا ما عمل معلش بس معلش يو اس بي
No, I just bring the camera. Here, let me give you this.
لابتوب ويندوز.
We are Web2. We started 3 years ago. We've gone through 3 successful funding cycles. So you can tell that we are a dependable and stable startup that's being called the WebMD of the Middle East. Because we provide, our services are actually providing our users with information about dealing with illness and maintaining health in general. We're the perfect outlet to advertise the products that complement that aspect of life and our aspect of life. We speak to the local and regional market, which is not something that's a commodity yet. As you can see, our user interface is very interactive, colorful, and attractive. We have 30 million page visits a month, and our clientele base is growing 30% also a month. We have 100,000 mobile users after launching launched 3 weeks ago. The reason why you want to buy is because you can buy now or bargain. If you buy it now, we will actually, if you buy 6 months, we'll give you half that time for free. If you commit to us for a year, we'll actually match it. So if you don't buy now, we're actually going to end up going to your competition. So if you can get it now and we approach you guys first, then I advise you to go for it. That's all.
I'd like to be judged.
Group A. Group A, are you ready?
بدك تقول اياها؟
لا حطوا على الطاولة أستاذ.
حد الشاي.
Guys, we're starting.
Good afternoon all. I'm a representative of Bayrak company and I want to introduce you to our company, but to our new launched startup. It's Bayrak. Who are we? We launched last year and we had 5 million hits, 5 million views, and we are the BuzzFeed in the Middle East of the Middle East. Okay, our website specializes in fun, entertaining, and videos and education information for people of all ages. Although there are many other people who have tried to do what we do, but we have a high potential of success. We are one of the largest entertainment channels in the Middle East. And you're Sony company, we want to target Sony company. And we're targeting the gaming sector in Sony company. So why you have to advertise with us? Because we have all the tools and channels to increase your outreach and visibility to one of the largest target segments. Gamers in the Middle East are increasing and they make up the majority of the users. Our search engine is among us the finest in the Middle East for keywords related to gaming and entertainment. Okay, and we can help you to maximize your reach in the gaming sectors. It's a day-to-day reporting and on visits and statistics. Lowest cost per click. We can afford you lowest cost per click. best UX, UI to optimize your integration process, flash media available, many high traffic pages, and we can assure you that your first game will be, we will give it for free. We will advertise your first game with us for free. That's it.
مين جاهز؟ تفضل.
كل اللابتوب شغال.
بس اعمل زي ما هو.
خلص بس
نطفي الكمبيوتر بدك اضوي لك اياه اضوي لك اياه بس
Hello everyone, I'm Salahuddin Ghanem from Souk.com. Today we are trying to sell you the advertisement on our website. Our website Souk is the largest online marketplace in the Middle East. We have 4 million unique visitors every day and we have more than 15 million user database. Why advertise with Souk? We have targeted advertisement, so your advertisement will go exactly to the target users you want to sell. We have the largest reachable user base in the Middle East, so you don't have to worry about one region and not the other. We have a secure reporting platform that provides you with real-time reporting and many insights and tools to optimize your advertisement with us. And we are the winner of the biggest growing company in 2013 by Forbes for the Middle East. What do we offer? We offer a variety of options and advertisements from size and multimedia type. We offer social media integration, and we offer special packages and deals for startups and large corporates. Our customers, LG, Nokia, and Kodak, Pico, IBM, and HP, all of them are currently customers with us, and we'd like you to be part of the team. What do we offer you? We have a special offer for you today. Because we value you as a company and we share the same values, we would like you to advertise with us for 6 months for free, and the other 6 months for a full year package, the same price. So you pay for a year, just 6 months. How to reach us? Contact me directly at salah@souk.com or my teammate Robert at robert.com. My phone number is here, our PO box, and the email address. Thank you.
If you're not ready, you can go home. See? Charlie.
We had some trouble with this.
About WebTech, the largest medical portal in the Middle East. Who we are, a medical portal. We provide medical articles, information about treatments, diseases, checkups, and vaccines. Why to advertise on our website? We have about 2 million subscribers or RPs monthly. Mutual healthy and medical benefits between Nivea, the customer which you're talking with, curious users. Why we want to work with you? You have good products, people trust Nivea products and like it. Mutual healthy and medical benefits.
خلاص؟ يلا. Guys, focus please. Do you understand why we went through this exercise? This exercise is an actual thing that you have. If you're in sales, you will have to do such exercises. Those presentations are very important. I want to say something about which group was group number 1.
Group B.
Group B, guys, you did an excellent job in terms of applying the concepts that I've talked about. And I want to really, I'm going to give you homework though. So the homework will be for all of you. The homework would be, I want you guys to look at the presentations that you've done today, and I want you to create better ones. Because I'll be honest with you, I mean, two of the presentations were all right, but most of them did not really went to the depth that you should go to. So as a homework, I want you to create a 7 to 10 slide presentation, and I want you to look at the real data from the websites and create something and email it to me.
You sent us an email, so we have it.
Can I have my issue pen, please? So I want to make some. I want to tell you some notes that I took. Group B, excellent performance, but still I want you to make the presentation a sales presentation with data. Group E. Put some more facts. You didn't really use the depth. Please, I mean, your presentation still needs a lot of help. Group D. I like you put a lot of information. Try and find the real information and make it better. Group A was my favorite. Who's Group A? Is that full of me? You were able to put a good structure. Even though the presenter, his native language was not English, he was able to really say some really good information. It was informative, and I wanted to put some money in. Group C. Please work hard on your homework. Look, research, and do it. It's not rocket science. Guys, this exercise is very important. It's your first step to do your sales. When is a good deadline for the
Hey guys, be quiet.
When do you want to give me the presentation back?
A week from now.
No, even the good one needs a lot of help. Everyone.
That's why you want it.
So I want you to work on it by next Saturday, not this one coming, the one after. Please work on your presentations. I want good presentations. Excuse me?
I'm telling the teams, don't be happy if he's giving you till next Saturday. That means that there's high expectations.
Absolutely. I want something good. And you have my email address. Email me if you have questions. I want really good presentations. You guys came here and you invested your time and money. If you want value out of it, create a good presentation because it's going to help you in real life. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your attention. I hope that my instruction was useful. Okay, guys.
Thank you. Doing a feedback form. We'll be here on Sunday, same place. Next week you have a whole week of me to deal with. I'll be doing competitive strategy on Sunday, and then on Wednesday at a different location we'll be doing negotiation. Please do the feedback form, and thank you.